as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go play action now. Jackson. That is caught. Bateman. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Clock management. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Throwing. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Jackson to throw. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. If you've been waiting all day for this Sunday nighter's been worth the wait. It's 3rd down here. And this is going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Allen to throw. Has his man, it's Shakir. And he will have a Bills 1st down, and that should be that. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Buffalo, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.